Right, good morning everybody, or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time you're listening to this recording on the session Estate Rent Charges, Where Are We Now? Now, rent charges have been with us for quite some time, of course. The rent charges have not gone away, as conveyancers are very much aware. They do continue to cause confusion and delay. And what I'm going to cover in the course of this is perhaps a recap from some of the issues, and also to look at some wider, more practical issues in relation to rent charges. So effectively, what are rent charges and who must pay it? Why are estate rent charges used, and what are estate rent charges? How do estate rent charges differ from positive covenants to pay towards maintenance? How can you tell the difference? Does it matter what an obligation is called? What are the principal problems with estate rent charges, and what are the lenders doing about it at the moment? So that's basically the flavour of what I'm going to cover. Because of the nature, the slightly technical nature in times of some of this, I have prepared a series of notes to sit alongside the slides, so hopefully they will be available to you. I will perhaps at times refer to those notes throughout the presentation. So let's have a look what rent charge is. Well, a rent charge is, as it says in Rent Charges Act 1977, is an annual or periodic sum charged on or issuing out of land, with the exception of rent reserved by a lease. So effectively, even though it's called a rent charge, it cannot be a rent itself in the context of a leasehold property. And in fact, the reality is that rent charges are almost exclusively recorded against freehold property. And for the more technically minded amongst you, a rent charge is in nature an incorporeal hereditament. It is a legal interest in land and is very often combined with rights of entry. And it should be registered at the land registry, so the rent charge should have its own title at the land registry, and that the existence of the rent charge should also be noted on the title of the land that is subject to the rent charge.